Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I'm going to share with you my node setups that's basically a combination of a couple of um, concepts. It's actually, even though it's actually pretty basic, but you put them all together and you can get quite a nice effect. So here, I start with this hexagonal pattern. I'll display the wire so you can see this is just like a hexagonal pattern generated using Spherechalk hexagrid nodes, and I am using grease pencil. I draw like a grease pencil on top of it. It's kind of like a roughly drawn on top of each polygon face, so you can see that some kind of pattern here. If I go to the top and orthographic, should be clearer. So the idea here is to have the grease pencil to reorder the hexagonal polygon face, and so that we end up with this kind of control. I'll show you real quick. Oops, view, top view. If I scrub on the timeline, you can see that's the first effect. That's actually using just Blender build modifier. This output surface, this actually after I sorted the polygon face, so this is like index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So it's generating this kind of a spiral pattern. And the second one I have is actually the one on the right side here. You can see some kind of animation with a nice kind of ease in to generate the mesh. And there's another thing. In the other one, I'm actually using like a flip. I'm set to classic effects. I think I've done it in the past using different methods, but this is actually all done using Spherechalk. I could actually just quickly change the grease pencil and make a new stroke, and it should update accordingly. I could try that. So I'll go to this and grease pencil layer. I'll delete this and then create a new one. Well, I can't see the mesh. Okay, now I'll draw it like this. So here I will draw it differently. Hopefully this actually works. I have not tested this, but since we have the procedural setup here, supposedly now the order should follow my grease pencils drawing. So you can see here, see the effects slowly start from that one and then to the next one. Seems to be slightly off over there because I didn't draw the center one. I should actually like draw the centerpiece as well, but you can see it happens on the right side as well. So I think that's pretty cool. And this is just like a simple effects, but if you use like instead of just transforming, you can actually trigger that kind of action in order based on the grease pencil. This should work in for 3D objects as well. I just haven't tested. I only tested on the Polygon Components at the moment. Normally you don't have access to Polygon Component that so easily. I'm using Spherechalk add-on, so it's so easy now to do. So what is this exactly? I'll explain and I'll do a quick breakdown. This is like 4 different concepts. First of all, we know that we can just grab grease pencil. So this is the nodes that's responsible for that. You just draw anything on the 3D view and then you can grab the data and each points of the grease pencil. And once it's inside Spherechalk, you can use it, you can randomize it slightly if you want. I turn it off actually. And the next one I have is, this is actually very important, KDTree closest vertices. And this is kind of searching. So based on the grease pencil stroke, this search the closest vertices into the polygon face. And this guy is responsible for the indexing, like a reordering of the polygon face. So if we, here you see this is the hexagrid mesh generator, and I'm finding the center polygons, and then I'm kind of using this with the grease pencil and with KD3 closest vertices. Now we end up with the index being sorted here, list of index, and then the next thing I have here, this is actually the animation part. This is for the procedural animations. Looks quite complex, but I will explain real quick. I'm using the frame numbers here, and then like there's this offset based on the index, and I'm using map range because I need to put it inside the easing. The number that goes into this node should be between 0 and 1, and this node function will generate a new new values that becomes the animation. The animation goes into, there's this list sorting. List sorting is also important. I have it twice. One is to sort the polygon face, to reorder the polygon, and there is this one more thing, which is the scaling and the rotating. That's the one that's responsible to do the rotation or the scaling of the objects. So this one is doing the scaling. See, I could try to draw again the grease pencil just to be very clear. I'll delete the layer and then create a new layer once again. Let me draw this maybe like a something like this, you know, like letter B for Blender maybe, and then I can actually draw it this way. See, this is gonna be the new order for the polygon face. I'll reset everything and then have a look. See, it's drawing like a letter B, and then it's drawing that stroke ups and down, and then even the rotations, everything's under control. All components of the mesh can be controlled this way. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So once again, we have the grease pencil stroke coming in, and then we have these animations controlling animation for each polygon face. Every animation is the same. I'm just offsetting it slightly, and then the grease pencil and the mesh kind of interacting with KD3 to get the list of index. So like Squarechoke and Blender knows, okay, we have to reorder the mesh this way, and the rest is simply just piping this value of the animation, procedural animation, goes into controlling the scaling or the rotations of the polygon face. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this live noding. Hopefully this is useful. I'll give you the node tree for you to have a look and study and to modify. Hopefully you'll find this useful. Let me know if you have any question in the comment section below. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.